Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the interest of brevity, I have pre-planned a little bit of this episode. We need to address two things. The first thing that we need to address is another asset that we unlocked in the last milestone, and that is industry specialization, forestry, and agricultural. We also haven't talked about the residential specialization of self-sufficient buildings or organic and local produce, but both of those are part of a DLC. So let's get right into today's episode. I have sectioned off a little bit of residential. This Gabbard Island neighborhood is not going to be big by any means. It's just going to be a small little section. We're going to start building somewhere else in the next episode, but we need to get our population up to get to the next milestone. And again, as discussed, once we have that industry demand down in our bottom right hand corner of the screen, we will need to address it by going with agricultural. Now, as you can see from the last episode, we have bought another tile, and that would be the tile to the north of us, heading towards the Missouri River, right here. And we have put a little bit more residential roads down, not too much, nothing too big at all. The first thing that I want to do is delete this road here and this road here, because this is going to be kind of a main road. This will be our bridge across over to our brand new industrial area, but we will get to that a little bit later. First thing we need to do is zone off some residential, and I want to come back to the areas that I just did, and we're going to zone all of this off because, as you can see, a lot of that was covered by road. Now, houses will build there. Everything will be fine. All of these houses in the middle are going to be wiped out. This house is gone. This house is gone. But it's okay. It'll be all right. Then let's go back to our zoning, and we're going to zone off this plot over here. And as you can see, we have a few breaks in the road, and that's because of the uneven terrain that it was built on. But we'll get that entire interior area zoned off. And let's hit play. We're going to keep this at 1x speed for today's episode because we've got a lot to cover in a short period of time. Let's go to our fill tool and finish zoning this off. Actually, let's hold off on that for right now. We'll let that fill in first. We do have some commercial demand, so we can answer that as well. Let's go to our select tool up here. I believe we're going to get a street on this corner, or sorry, we're going to take out this tree by putting one on that corner, and we'll have one right there prominently displaying our water tower on that corner. And that'll be kind of a main arterial street, as I explained before. We'll put in some commercial, not too much. I kind of want to keep the nice, let's do a 3x3 here so we can keep the tree. And I think we can fit another one here and keep that tree. And then we'll go to a 4x4. And that should answer our commercial demand, no problem. You can see our residential demand is starting to go down. We are losing 19 population per turn, per week, but we are at 188. We're losing 22. Unfortunately, that's because of this all moving out. Hopefully they will rebuild. We're going to bump it up to 2x speed because this is a little excruciatingly slow. I would like to build some more money because we don't have enough money to complete this bridge across the river. So in the meantime, while we're raising funds, and we're only making $9 a turn, because if you remember in the last episode, we implemented to our city the policy of smoke detector distribution. Now, we didn't put this policy on our entire city. We only put it on this little section. However, it's $5 per building, so it costs quite a bit. Nonetheless, I did fix the zoning for this area to incorporate our new conquered domain, our new lands. Once we get some people in here, we should start making money again. But let's go ahead and go over to our economy screen, and we're going to take out our second loan. This loan is for $60,000, payment plan 260 weeks at a 10% interest rate. So the total weekly cost is only $253, and you're only paying back $6,000 on top of the loan. Not too bad. We're going to take that out. And what I always like to do, what I always implore you to do, once you take out a loan, pay off the other one. Use that money. You only have $15,000 left on this loan. We're going to pay that off so that if we get in trouble anywhere down the line, we have more money to pay off the loan. We have more money to borrow a loan. We have more credit to borrow a loan. That's what I'm trying to go for there. It's hard to build a bridge and converse at the same time. There we are. So our nice little bridge across the river, and it kind of makes that power line and water pump look a little more natural in the scene of things. Residential demand down to about half. Commercial demand still at about half. I would like to go ahead and we're just going to put a little bit of a road here. For right now, this is not going to mean anything. That is just a placeholder. And then we're going to add some more commercial to down here. And actually, I don't want them to build. If they build correctly, then we'll leave that road. If they build incorrectly, we will destroy that road. We're going to add some more commercial all along here. I think we might just do a couple little 3x3s to keep these trees here. We'll keep them spaced out by 2. That way they kind of offset with next door, or with across the road, I mean. That should answer our commercial demand, no problem. That we should be fine. Residential's almost all the way down, and as you can see, it is now industry that we need to worry about. We have plenty more to zone off, but I want to make sure that we have water pipes under everything, and of course we do not, because I did not plan that far, unfortunately. But we'll be okay. So let's delete this. We're trying to keep these all symmetrical, straight underneath the road, and we went a little bit too far. Now, I wondered about that. Let's go to the road, and then to the water tower. There we are. And then we'll get one more down on this road, and that should complete it, except for the other side. Yeah, I was wondering if that little four-way would work. Except for the other side over here. And I think we can just do 2 roads, 2 lines of water, and that should do it. And there we are. So that will cover everything that we've just added with water for the most part. We've got a little bit down here, but we shouldn't have to worry about that. I also want to, before we start with our industry area, I want to zone off a little bit over here. We're going to zone off this block and this block here. And that should answer our residential no problem. I want to keep these clean because if I can, I would like to fit a park into here. Not positive if I can. And maybe a little park down here. I like, whenever there are triangles like that, I like to have a little park there. Now, we could have gone from this highway entrance over here, but I think it was more cost effective to build a bridge. We will see. Probably not, but we'll see. Now, zoning off our little farmland area over here, I'm going to go to this tool, and we are going to start by zoning off the area all along the river. So to start with our farmland, we're going to zone off what is farmland. All of this area here is farmland, Evergreen Heights, for whatever reason. You can see the little tractor here. That is an indication that we have clicked this for our vanilla DLC. Not DLC, sorry, for our vanilla gameplay. This is the farmland industry specialization that came with the vanilla gameplay. This is how the game came. So, we're going to click this entire area. We're going to do 2 options. We're going to zone this off later as a different area, and that will be a DLC for farmland. But this little area down here, I just wanted to show you all of the farmland area. This little area, we're going to build an actual regular gameplay DLC, or not DLC, farmland area. And what's interesting about this is, with the DLC, you have a lot of... Sorry, I'm trying to get a road right across the river. With the DLC, you have a lot of different sized plots that come with the game that you have to map out and you have to plan. With the standard gameplay, with no DLC, this farmland, it is just where there's a square, and they're going to build. So we can either take advantage of all of the tile space here and do something like this, and every tile will be built on. Or you can have a little bit of space between it. We're going to do both, obviously. This road, I just want to run right here for right now. All of this is temporary, but we are going to start by building some farmland. You can see we have some water problems, so let's address that first. Go to our info views and go to our water up here at the top. It's sewage treatment. That's the problem. We don't have enough down here. So let's go to the exit of our system, and we are going to use, I believe we used a regular water drain pipe here. Let's put this here, and we'll add a water pipe, and I believe, oh, that's why. I believe we can connect just to there. Yep, there we go. And we have power already, so once that kicks in, we will have sewage for all of our population, and we can go back to address our situation over here with our industry area. So, we're just going to zone this off with regular industry. If you come down to the yellow tool, we're going to fill the entire thing. Now, we need water, and we need a bunch of it. Industries like agricultural and forestry use a lot of water. So, we need to go back to our tools, add a water line. Luckily, we have a pump right there, so we're going to come right across. And we will put water lines underneath the roads all in this area. We don't have enough electric, but I believe that can be fixed with just a budget adjustment over here. And let's go ahead and bump it up to 110 for now. That should fix it. That temporary, that's a band-aid. That is not fixing the problem. That is a band-aid on the problem. But that should band-aid the problem. Let's bump it up to 3 times speed. And we have some water problem down here. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, water's very low. Let's just blindly bump that up to 60, and I think that should help. Yeah, I don't even think we needed to do that, but we will soon, so it's fine. We have no electric over here. It is a farm. I thought they'd be fine without electric, but apparently some of them need electric. So we can go ahead and add a power line. And I don't want to come down this way because I don't want to zone off that, because then we're going to have to all of this is going to be zoned off as farmland as well, I believe. So I don't want to cut that off and then, have to redo it. So now everything has power. You can see our industry demand is plummeted. We're back to needing commercial and residential. We need a big swath of residential, and we are going to take that very easily because we're going to close this neighborhood off, and we're going to just fill in all of this. And actually, let's select, I don't want them too close to the bridge here. And let's go ahead and take them down. Well, that'll be the last house. There we go. All right, so we've got our residential, no problem. We could add some more if we wanted. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more over here. And there we are. That should answer our residential demand pretty easily. I think we are almost to our next milestone. We've kind of covered everything. We haven't gotten into self-sufficient buildings or agricultural local produce, organic and local produce, sorry. But we will in a later episode. That is part of a DLC as well. Those are both Green Cities DLC. We haven't gotten to forestry specialization, and that's because if we go to our info views here, you can see our natural resources. We don't have forestry. We'll come back to that in just a second. We have now unlocked Tiny Town, our next milestone. So, we've unlocked a lot in this milestone, and we're going to unpack all of that in the next episode. Join us in a few days whenever I release the next video. There is a lot here, and I can't wait to cover all of it. Most of it is DLCs. If you don't have all the DLCs, that's fine. Keep playing along. This is for everyone. This is the last, probably, series that I will do for City Skylines on console for City Skylines 1. I would assume, unless the date gets pushed back to, 2 years from now for console. We'll see. But I think we'll be playing City Skylines 2 next. This will be the last one. So we will take an in-depth look at all of this. And we'll look at it from a vanilla perspective as well if you're watching this video 5 years in the future. If you are, let me know how things are doing. Has the world fallen apart yet? I don't know. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go ahead and get back to this real quick. One last thing to cover, natural resources. We don't have any forestry yet. We have a nice little pocket down here, but we will get to that in a later episode. That is our agricultural industry specialization. They are starting to build. Thank you for joining the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Oh, and P.S., a little side note. Of course the laundromat built on the wrong street. What a game.